Okay, today I'm going to show you a lot of people like to do something like this where you have two layers of vinyl over the top, like a green and a yellow, and you can do this effect and give it like a shadow or an outline on letters, or you could do it on a graphic as well. And you have to use two tools. You have to outline and then you have to offset the outline. So let me show you how I created this one. So I'll go here. Here's my sign blank. It's 9 by 12. I'll just go ahead and bring in some text and we'll say Huskies, and it really doesn't matter what font you use. I'll just go ahead and get that nice and large, and I can't remember what that last font was, but let's just go up and change it to any font really that you would like. I think maybe it was this one. No, that's not going to work very well. Um, we'll just use this font here. Remember, when you're resizing text, you should hold the shift down and then click and drag a corner. So let's go ahead and put an offset. I tell you, I really don't like that. It's too shallow here. We'd have a hard time doing an offset right in there. So let me find another one. Um, Sure, we can try this one. Not sure how well it'll work for this, but let's just go ahead and try this one. So let's say we want yellow with a green background. So then let's go ahead and change these to yellow. And now what you'll want to do is create outlines. We can't use the stroke tool for this method. So if you right click, you can create outlines. Otherwise, you can create outlines if you go up to Object, Path, and Outline. All right. So now uh, we have the outlines selected now. And now if we go up here to Path, Object Path, and then offset the path. Now that will bring up this menu, this window here, and we can offset it by a certain distance. And if we do a preview right now, this is the way that's going to look. We may have just a little overlap right here, but I'll even show you how to take care of that. Other than that, that looks pretty good. Now it's all yellow right now, but we will change that here shortly. So you can mess around if you make this smaller, 0.05, and then you have to click down here and see how it's narrower and so on. So let's put it back at 0.1 and say OK. So now what we just did was we have an outline here, and you can't really tell that we have, here's the original letter and then the outline. So now what you're going to want to do is to ungroup this. So ungroup, and then using hold the shift down, it's easiest just to select the inside of the letters. Here, just like this. And let's go ahead and make those green. So I'm going to go up here and group those. So those letters are now grouped. And now if I make those green, now we get the green letter with the yellow background, or you could do a vice versa. And now it would be nice to go ahead and group all the yellow outlines as well. So I'll pick this one. I'll hold the shift down, and you have to pick right in the middle of that yellow fill there. Uh, Sometimes it's easier to go into the layer. I've already got all the green letters grouped. Now I can select the paths right here by holding the shift down and just selecting the buttons out here. And that's selecting all the yellow outlines. And now I can group those together. So now I have two groups here. I have a green group, which are the letters, and the yellow group. All right. So just to show you here, something now, if I go back here and I pick the green group, if I drag that down, here's the yellow background behind it. Notice it's not just an outline, but it's a whole letter. So it's actually two separate cut paths, one for the green, one for the yellow, which is exactly what we wanted. So now I'll put that back, and now we just need to separate them out by layers. We'll create a new layer. Let's call the first one green. And let's label the second one, just double click, and this will be our yellow. and we can click and drag the yellow group up to the yellow layer. And then we have two groups. We need to add one more layer for registration. Now, on my registration, I'll go ahead and move the registration. I'll move the yellow down. And if you'll notice, the yellow's over the top of our green. So if I want my green layers to come back, just reorder these and then it's back. Now on the registration layer, you need two little registration marks up here. So we're just going to go to the ellipse tool, click out here once, link them together. 0.25, there's nothing magical about 0.25, but it just seems to work well. And now I have one up here, and I'm going to go ahead and put it up here in the corner. Doesn't really matter where. I'm going to turn the fill off and just outline it with a black line. And now I'm going to hold Alt down and put the other one, line the centers up, and put the other one over near this edge somewhere. There we go. And now all you have to do is pick the green group, and with that selected, you'll actually turn the fill off and give it an outline 0.25. Now that one's ready. Now I'll pick the yellow, and you have to select it out here, and I'll do the same. I'll turn the fill off and outline it. I'll go ahead and outline that with yellow and change this to 0.25. And it's really hard to see the yellow, but let's go back and click this green group. And just so we know, let's go ahead, instead of outlining it with black, let's go ahead and outline it with the green. There, now it's kind of hard to see here, but you do have a green and a yellow. And now you're ready to go over to the vinyl cutter. And that's how you do layering. And of course, you'd turn off the yellow, you'd load the green vinyl in, leave your registration marks, and cut all the green. And then you would do turn the green on, turn the green off and the yellow on, put the yellow film vinyl in the machine, but leave the registration marks. As a matter of fact, it's probably a good idea to lock the registration mark just like that, so you can't move those or turn those off or anything. So good luck in creating your vinyl sign.